Rome built its empire on spectacle. The arena, a place where bloodshed became entertainment. But what the crowds never saw, what Rome never allowed to be written, were the nights when gladiator blood flowed outside the sand. Massacres so brutal, so humiliating to the empire, that Rome ordered them erased from history. Tonight, we resurrect them. Tonight, we reveal the covered-up massacres Rome hoped the world would forget. Capua had Rome's largest gladiator school, a fortress filled with the deadliest fighters in Italy. But before Spartacus ever rose, Capua witnessed something far darker, a massacre Rome refused to record. It began with a food shortage, not for the city, just for the gladiators. Rations were cut in half, meat removed, replaced with gruel. Dozens of fighters collapsed during training. Some died. When the fighters protested, their lanista didn't negotiate. He retaliated. One night, after locking the gates, he ordered his guards to purge the troublemakers. The guards entered the cells quietly, but the fighters were ready. A brawl erupted in the dark. No armor, no real weapons. Just fists, stones, wooden stools, and desperation. The next morning, the city found smoke rising from the school. When the gates opened, over 40 gladiators were dead. Rome called it a disciplinary incident. Letters say otherwise. A hidden massacre, a slaughter punished with silence. Another cover-up emerged from North Africa. A school in Carthage had become a boiling pot of rage. Young recruits were beaten, older fighters starved, and rumors spread that half the school was being sold for profit. One night, a trainee, barely 17, fought back. He struck a guard with a training sword. The blow wasn't fatal, but it was enough. The commander panicked. He ordered the gates locked and the guards to clean the barracks. What came next was not a crackdown. It was an execution. Guards marched through the rooms, killing anyone standing, sitting, or begging. When a fire broke out in one of the wooden barracks, they didn't put it out. They watched it burn. The next day, the commander sent Rome a single message. A riot ended. But excavations centuries later told a different story. Scorch marks, collapsed beams, charred skeletons chained to their bunks. Rome didn't end a riot. It created a massacre. Everyone knows Pompeii for its final day, but few know what happened in the gladiator barracks before the volcano erupted. A feud broke out between two local factions. Gladiators were dragged into a street fight, forced to defend their patrons. Rome blamed the gladiators, and as punishment, the Senate ordered a brutal retaliation. That night, Roman soldiers stormed the gladiator school. They didn't enter as peacekeepers. They entered as executioners. Gladiators were cut down where they slept. Some were cornered and speared against stone walls. Others tried to escape through the windows, only to be shot with arrows. Archaeologists later found the evidence. Skulls split cleanly, bones with military blade marks, and a room where bodies piled near a barricaded door. Rome later rewrote it as a riot put down. But it wasn't a riot. It was a purge. A massacre erased other layers of volcanic ash.
After Spartacus fell, Rome needed to send a message, not to rebels, not to slaves, but to gladiators everywhere. Some schools were emptied, some were closed, some were wiped out entirely. One school in southern Italy attempted to surrender willingly. The fighters laid down their arms, expecting mercy. Rome had none. The soldiers surrounded the school and began a systematic execution. Room by room, line by line, name by name. Some gladiators were killed on the spot. Others were marched outside and crucified along the road, so travelers would see their bodies for weeks. The massacre was so large, Roman writers avoided describing it. To acknowledge it would be to admit the empire feared its own entertainers. The message was clear: never again. But the fear in Rome didn't disappear, it grew. Many of these events vanished from history, not because they were unknown, but because Rome destroyed the proof. One letter mentions scrolls confiscated from Capua's archives. Another describes a commander in Africa instructing his clerks to purify the records. A senator scrawled in a private journal, "Gladiators are a shame we keep behind walls." Rome believed the arena was a symbol of power. It couldn't allow the world to know that gladiator schools, its own factories of entertainment, were unstable, violent, rebellious powder kegs. So Rome lit the torches and burned the truth. Covered-up massacres became whispers, whispers became rumors, and rumors became forgotten sand. Rome wanted its gladiators to be legends, but only the kind it approved. Warriors who fought bravely, who died beautifully, who entertained obediently. But the real gladiators, the ones who questioned, the ones who resisted, the ones who tried to rise, Rome didn't celebrate them. Rome silenced them, crushed them, erased them. Yet their scars, their rebellions, and their massacres still whisper from the shadows of forgotten arenas. Because history is not written only by the victors. Sometimes it's written in the blood they tried to hide. Subscribe now and step into the untold stories of history, where the heroes they erased are finally remembered.